Welcome everyone back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 3, Episode 17. Very fun episode. Very exciting. Calm before the storm type moment. That's what they say, right? Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get 2 weeks ahead of Uncuts. See the finale right now for only $5 in edited form, or go up to the higher tier for the uncut format. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll take a break for Korra. Do you want to? We'll do a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do a podcast for sure.
Yeah, I feel like if we did take a break, it probably wouldn't be very long.
No, like a couple weeks, but like...
It might depend, because, you know, we might want to...
Just keep going with it.
We might want to keep going with it, yeah, but we might also, depending on if we want to do any, like, special, like, kind of one-off things or something.
It doesn't give you much to go on, does it? But...
Subscribe, so either way, you will see it whenever it comes out.
All right, let's go. Oh, is this the last time we see the intro?
Oh.
It might be next time too. We might see it at the start of next episode, but it's a 4-parter thing in the Blu-ray.
Ember Island reveals the true you.
Back to the beach.
Ooh.
Doesn't it seem kind of weird that we're hiding from the Fire Lord in his own house?
I like how they're back in the Fire Nation outfits as well to disguise themselves.
We were just in town and we found this poster. How is that possible?
These sources include singing nomads, pirates, prisoners of war, and a surprisingly knowledgeable merchant of cabbage.
Ember Island Place.
Ugh. My mother used to take us to see them.
Do you think it's a good idea for us to attend a play about ourselves?
This is the kind of wacky, time-wasting nonsense I've been missing.
Me too, Sokka.
This episode is gold.
I wanted to sit there.
Oh.
Just next to me.
I wanted to... Okay. Why are we sitting in the nosebleed? He can't see a thing from up here.
Oh.
It's pretty
Don't worry.
unfortunate.
I'll tell your feet what's happening.
My only brother. We constantly roam these icy South Pole seas.
All I want is a full feeling in my stomach.
Is food the only thing on your mind?
Well, I'm trying to get it out of my mind and into my mouth. I'm starving. My jokes are way funnier than this.
You sure?
I think he's got you pegged.
And cannot give up hope. For hope is all we have. And we must never relinquish it, even to our dying breath.
What about my husband?
I don't sound like that. This writer's a genius.
Toph actually wrote this play.
Appears to be someone frozen in ice, perhaps for 100 years.
Perhaps.
Waterbend! Hi!
Like, waterbend.
I'm the Avatar, silly. Is that a woman playing me?
Whoa.
Appa's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Airbender! My heart is so full of hope that it's making me tear bend.
Oh my god.
Stomach is so empty that it's making me tear bend. I need meat.
But wait, platter of meaty dumplings?
Aang is so done.
Did I mention that I'm an incurable prankster? I don't do that. That's not what I'm like. Nailed you, Twinkle Toes.
So good. Oh god.
Prince Zuko, you must try this cake.
I must capture the Avatar to regain my honor.
Maybe I'll capture another slice.
What's his accent?
You make me look totally stiff and humorless.
Actually, I think that actor's pretty spot on.
Yeah, that's potentially the most accurate one so far.
Forget about the Avatar and get massages.
How could you say that?
Even he knows it's true. Momo?
Hey, look!
What's Momo gonna look like?
It's a flying rabbit monkey. Let's name him Momo.
A flying rabbit monkey.
Cute.
Hi, everybody.
How dare you do Momo like that?
Breasts make my butt look fat. Riddles and challenges.
What? Literally what happened.
To steal that waterbending scroll.
Gave me so much hope.
The Avatar is mine! The blue spirit, the scourge of the fire nation!
This is definitely inaccurate. See, Zuko's right there.
But I like that they don't know that.
Yeah.
It's like from a outside of the show, it's smart that they thought that people wouldn't know that.
Don't cry, baby. Jet will wipe out that nasty town for you.
What?
You're so bad.
Okay.
I mean, are they wrong?
We're in the Earth Kingdom.
Let's keep flying. You're the only woman who's ever taken my mind off of food. Wait, did you have pickled fish for dinner?
Goodbye, Sokka. I have important mom duties to take care of. I did have pickled fish. You never told
Oh.
me you made out with the moon spirit.
I'm trying to watch.
No.
The Avatar is back!
My God. Incredible.
They're all so upset.
Intermission is the best part of the play. Apparently, the playwright thinks I'm an idiot who tells bad jokes about meat all the time.
Tell bad jokes about plenty of other topics.
I know!
Woman playing the Avatar doesn't resemble me at all. I don't know. You are more in touch with your feminine side than most guys. It's not like I'm a preachy crybaby who can't resist giving over emotional speeches about hope all the time. What? Yeah, that's not you at all. What is that? It's obvious.
Savagery.
Can't wait till we see Toph and then she just absolutely loses it. She's so smug.
To see if I can find an earthbending teacher.
I like that.
Whoa.
I've been
Fancy.
all over town.
You can't find an earthbending master in the sky.
Who are you?
My name's Toph, because it sounds like tough. That's just what I am.
I sound like a guy. A really buff guy. You hear up there is the truth. It hurts, doesn't it?
She just loves it.
I wouldn't have cast it any other way. At least it's not a flying bald lady.
Accurate.
I can see you doing that, except I don't see like you do. Release a sonic wave from my mouth.
That
She just loves it.
I just love the way it just pans over.
So good.
Time we had a talk about your hair. It's gone too far.
Maybe it's best if we split up.
That's exactly how it happened.
Wait, what's that? I think it's your honor.
Where?
Oh my God. I like how it's just the one guy doing everything.
The unfireable one.
Haha, yes! Continue.
Haha, yes. I'm surprised more people didn't leave at the intermission. They should have shown like half the theater was empty. No.
Must serve Earth King.
Did Jet just die? It was really unclear.
I have to admit, Princess, I really find you attractive.
That's so classic.
I've had eyes for you since the day you first captured me.
Thought you were the Avatar's girl.
Why, he's like a little brother to me. Don't think of him in a romantic way. Besides, how could he ever find out about this?
Oh, you're getting up? Can you get me some fire flakes? Oh, and fire gummies.
Oh my God.
Well, my brother, your nation, or a life of treachery?
Choose treachery. It's more fun.
No way!
Oh.
I hate you, Uncle. You smell, and I hate you for all time.
No.
You really say that, did you?
I might as well have.
Hmm.
Oh, the bear!
Avatar state. Yip yip.
Yip, yip.
Not if my lightning can help it.
She like opened her one eye so she could see the
Yeah.
ribbon. Oh, they're even playing the music too.
The Avatar is no more. It seems like every time there's a big battle, you guys barely make it out alive. I mean, you guys lose a lot.
Didn't Zula take you captive? That's right, she did.
Are you trying to get on my bad side?
You just said we almost died every fight.
You left to get me fire gummies like 10 minutes ago.
I'm gonna check outside. Are you alright? No, I'm not. I hate this play. I know
Let's
it's
go
upsetting.
home.
It sounds like you're overreacting.
If I hadn't blocked my chakra, I'd probably be in the Avatar state right now.
What are the chances you can get me backstage? I got some jokes I want to give to the actor me.
I'm an elite warrior who's trained for many years in the art of stealth. I think I could get you backstage. Jeez, everyone's getting so upset about their characters.
You get a muscly version of yourself taking down 10 bad guys at once and making sassy remarks.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Takes all the mistakes I've made in my life and shoves them back in my face. My uncle taught me so much. And how do I repay him? With a knife in his back. And I may never get to redeem myself.
You already have.
How do you know?
Because I once had a long conversation with the guy, and all he would talk about was you. And it was kind of annoying.
Oh, sorry.
Also very sweet. All your uncle wanted was for you to find your own path. He'd be proud.
Ow! What was that for?
That's how I show affection.
Zuko costume's pretty good, but your scar's on the wrong side.
The scar's not on the wrong side! Can I help you? Actually, I think I can help you. I think you're representing him quite as well as you could be. Another fan with ideas. Just hear me out. Here's something I think the real Sokka would say. What does the cabbage merchant use to fix his cabbages? A cabbage patch! That's actually pretty good. Let me see a rocky relationship. Not bad. Who are you, anyway? I'm just a guy who likes comedy.
Did you really mean what you said in there?
What are you talking about?
In the fake play.
When you said I was just like a brother to you,
I didn't say that. An actor said that.
Same thing.
I kissed at the invasion, and I thought we were gonna be together.
I don't know.
Why don't you know?
Because we're in the middle of a war, and we have other things to worry about. This isn't the right time.
Well, when is the right time?
Aang, I'm sorry, but right now I'm just a little confused. I just said I was confused. I'm going inside.
Ugh.
Such an idiot.
That was pretty dumb.
That's rough, buddy.
Here's what you missed. We went to the Fire Nation, and you got better, and Katara was the painted lady. I think Combustion Man died. Ooh, look, the invasion's about to start.
Oh boy.
I just want to let you know, Aang, that I'll always love you like a brother.
I wouldn't want it any other
Did you say you and Aang have a rocky relationship?
God.
Did you see his face? Look at his face.
I hope everyone's ready.
Finally made it to the royal palace, but no one's home.
Julie, I'm home. And I want to join you.
Have no choice. Come on.
That's definitely how that went.
I guess that's it.
Play's not over.
But it is over. Unless this is the future.
No one will be able to stop the Fire Nation.
Zuko and the Avatar are at the palace. They are trying to stop you.
You take care of Zuko. I shall face the Avatar myself.
I am the rightful heir to the throne.
We'll see.
Fight.
That's pretty cool. How they do the bending like that.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Zuko.
It's like, oh shit.
The comet is already here, and I'm unstoppable.
Ooh.
It is over, Father.
The dreams of my father and my father's father have now been realized. is mine.
Good old Fire Nation propaganda.
Yeah.
Just to set it, just
Like, it hasn't even happened yet. They're just manifesting.
Horrible. You said it.
But the effects were decent.
They must have their props, everything other than like the writing and the acting was actually fairly decent. Like they had Aang flying around through the audience. That's like that's pretty intense.
I wish we watched this more because it's what I remember most from like watching this after school when I was a kid. What'd you think of that?
That
Best
was funny.
recap episode?
I like that. Yeah, I like it because it's like if coming up towards the finale, like the next 4 episodes are basically the finale. Even though I'm sure they probably aired separately, it's still gonna be pretty nonstop from here, I'd imagine. So it's nice to do a recap and just do it in such a funny way. And I love just how bad everyone's is, except Toph just loves hers. It's just so good. She's like, yeah, why wouldn't I want to be portrayed as this like super giant buff guy who's just like super powerful and funny?
Yeah, it's pretty true.
Yeah, it's like this is the aura that she's giving off. Which,
by the way, I think I've mentioned it before, but Toph was originally meant to be a guy. Toph originally was in the intro, whereas the Earthbender, they were originally going to use like the boulder, if you remember that character, the boulder.
Oh yeah.
Like right here. That was going to be Toph.
Interesting.
But they changed. But they thought that it was too like, what are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, like what's gonna be interesting about?
I forget who actually came up with that. I think it was. I don't think it was the main 2 guys. Maybe it was, but I don't think it was them. I think it was their because they were the writers and the creators. But I think it was like the one that worked with them on the show that I don't think that worked on much of Korra, if I remember properly. Anyway, yeah, Toph was originally supposed to look a lot closer to this in the actual show, but they thought that it was, where are you gonna take that really? Like they're just really strong and that's it. But and there's no joke to it. Like if Toph is blind and a little girl, but she's the most powerful bender in the whole show, then like. Yeah.
I feel like it also gives a better dynamic to like her and Katara's relationship because they butted heads a lot, and I don't think that like that wouldn't have been there wouldn't have been that same
balance in the group
thing there. Yeah.
Because like think about it, if it's 3 dudes and then just Katara.
Yeah, and then we get Zuko at the end too. Then it's just like
there's no kind of. Like even Toph is not super girly, but like she is a girl, and they had that moment in the Tales of Ba Sing Se where Toph was trying to be a girly girl or whatever, and like trying to, embrace trying to be pretty and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like a little bit more balance rather than just, whatever. It's a way better decision. Anyway, that's beside the episode, but
I liked, all the portrayals were really funny. I love how Aang's like, that's not like me at all. 2 seconds later, Katara, why would you say that about me? Aang, that like
it's not you.
She's like, Aang, like you know how the character that's up there that is representing you like is a girl, doesn't look like you, doesn't do any of the things that you do. You don't really like recognize that as being you. Okay,
same.
So you understand that, and then now why the fuck are you saying that is me? The girl over there, she's like, oh my god, Zuko, I'm so in love with you. But I do love that they did that because it's like, I feel like that's probably like a very common ship. Like
it is.
It's like
it really is. It's more common than Aang and Katara. Well, I wouldn't say that, but like that's
I can
Zutara
tell. Like, I think if I was watching like as a kid, I would have wanted them to be together. But then obviously watching as an adult, it's like. I feel like it's very set up from like a long time with just how much Aang really likes and cares about Katara. It's like kind of set up that they would be together just because it would be unnecessarily mean to do that to Aang just from a writing perspective. You know what I mean? Like it would just be sad.
Yeah, he does all this, but he doesn't get the girl in the end.
Yeah, and like Zuko hasn't really expressed any interest in Katara like that, and she hasn't really expressed any interest in them. They just make in a different type of show those 2 types of characters.
I think it's just because they're both like attractive. Like that's kind of it. I think that it's just like the 2 the two prettiest kids in high school, like when you're in school. It's just like, oh, they would be so good to, they'd be such a power couple. Like, I think it's that kind of energy.
I think it's also
and
like
this scene, well, like the actual scene,
Yeah,
when
and-
they're in the crystal cave, it's like there's a little bit of maybe tension there.
people want that like enemies to lovers.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
It's they want the enemies to
the
lovers.
like the main girl like convinces the evil bad guy to like come over to
Yeah.
their side, and yeah.
Now that you mention, I think it's mostly, maybe there's a study that needs to be done, but I don't think a lot of like male Avatar fans
Ship them.
do that as much. I think it's usually a lot of girl fans, which makes sense if it's like the enemies to lovers, Beauty and the Beast sort of like
Yeah.
parallel that's like really popular in romance and romantasy and stuff like that.
But that's
Yeah.
I love how Aang at the end, I'm just like, oh, you're being so dumb right now, because it's
And
like
he tries to kiss her,
Yeah,
too.
it's just so dumb because he gets mad about a play that is completely not. I mean, I feel like it's not. I feel like it's more just like she's worried about everyone that she loves dying in a war.
That's true.
Rather than, and I think like that's the
She
thing. It's
says
like
that, but yeah.
I think it's like, you know, in the heat of the moment when they were like actively going into battle before, and then they kissed, and it's kind of like the emotions are really high, where we might die, so like let's act on our feelings right now. But then here, when you had like a little bit of time to settle down, I think she still like would feel the same way. But it's like, you know, do I want to be thinking about that right at this?
I think a lot of the
you know,
shippers
this
maybe
critical moment.
use this kind of conflict as a way, the Zutara shippers, like they think about this as kind of leaning more towards that ship in a way, possibly, because like you know it's kind of casting uncertainty on the main relationship. But I think that yes, that's what she, like, you know, you never know, but I think a big part of it is just that narratively it makes sense for her to be unsure. But it's also just very relatable as a kid, you know, when you like somebody and it just like it's not working out, you don't really know what to do, you know, like I feel like it's just kind of portraying that a little bit, because that's a kind of stage in the relationship that they haven't got to explore.
Yeah, and also like, yeah, then there's like the classic like mess up of Aang, of like her being like, oh, I'm not really sure, like this might not be the right time to be having this discussion, and then he's like, no, let me just push it a bit farther,
Yeah.
so then you'll know. And she's like, bro, I literally just said to not do that. Like, you pushing forward on this topic is not gonna change
it's
the
not gonna
outcome,
help.
and if anything will make it worse.
Exactly.
Because
Which is a good, you know, like if you're a kid watching, that's a really good lesson, because like the emotions are really relatable, and then you see like, oh yeah, maybe that wouldn't be good if I like push this thing further than it's supposed to.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway. It's well written and good regardless, the conflict in their relationship. But I think where it introduced, like, you know, if this scene was just on its own, that'd be one thing, but the scene is brought about, like you said, because of a silly like, oh, but your play version of yourself said that, and that's what you really think, isn't it? In order to initiate all of this, so then it's kind of built on this like weird convenience, and then
Instead of it being like
a natural,
instead of
like
Aang-
this scene probably would have happened anyway.
Yeah, because it could have been just like
without
Aang,
the whole
like,
recap
oh,
episode.
we're like together now because we kissed that one time right before we were about to die.
Yeah.
And then her being like, yeah, we did kiss that one time right before we were about to die, but like now we're still in the middle of a war, so like I don't have time to be playing house with you when we're might still die, you know?
Yeah.
I loved that. Oh, was that Jet getting crushed by a rock? Did he die? I don't know, it was very ambiguous.
Yeah, it was really unclear. I love that. That's like my favorite moment for everything. Everyone has a good reaction to that. It's so funny because it's so true. It's like they make it as clear as they can, but they can't make it clear enough. So they have to leave some ambiguity. Also, he has hook hands. Like what?
We had like this little hook.
He had
thing.
hook swords, but like
Yeah.
the Jet thing's really really funny because it's so true. And then this they kind of do the same thing with Combustion Man, Sparky Boom Man, when they come back and then Sokka's like, oh yeah, and I think he died. It's like, yeah, I guess you don't really know, but like he exploded and then his metal arm was disembodied and flew into the crater or into the crevasse. And then we get Fire Nation propaganda at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say one small thing is I like that like the animators could have used firebending effects. Like they could have just made the actors firebenders since this is in the Fire Nation. But since these guys like traveled everywhere to like get or I guess the playwright did, but I think the idea is that while they're performing this in the Fire Nation, and it's Fire Nation propaganda in order for them to be able to do it, they're not necessarily all about the Fire Nation necessarily. So they're not firebending actors. They still do all the effects. I think it's an excuse for them to like do creative things visually on the show. But I like that they made that choice rather than, oh, well, this is a Fire Nation. Like the writers for this episode could have said like, oh, this is a Fire Nation play. It's Fire Nation propaganda. We'll do weird effects for like the other bending styles. But when it comes to firebending, just like in the circus when the dude did the fire whip, you know, like we'll just, since we animate these things all the time, let's just do like regular firebending effects. But instead they were like, no, what if they have ribbons and what if they have all this stuff? They like got creative and thought about how to do a play and animated this. Like they really had to think outside the box in order to think about all these like visual gags and jokes. Like it's really smart and funny, and it clearly takes a lot more effort. So I'm really happy that they went the extra mile to just do that rather than just having them firebend because they could, you know? Yeah. Very cool.
It's really cool. I like that a lot.
You ready to move on to the finale?
I guess so.
Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to see that right now. We hope you enjoyed. And stay tuned for our podcast. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe. See you next time, Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.